Hello, my friend. Hope you are well. Thought I'd pop in and do a year end wrap up. I did this for the visual and video watchers that watch the YouTube live channel every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I know I have some Audible listeners who prefer to listen audibly. Actually, that's my personal preference as well. I like to listen to books and different webinars and conferences when I'm driving and working out in the whole nine. I prefer Audible as well. So I wanted to make sure that I check in with you. How are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're having a good holiday season. Hopefully you're able to have some downtime and regroup, reassess, and regenerate for this upcoming new year. I thought we'd just go over kind of year in review and just, you know, talk over some things that I've notice, come across, aha moments, light bulb moments, what have you, for the year. Let me know, write me back. Let me know if any of it resonates or if there's any aha moments or takeaways in the conversation today. So, I talk with a lot of professionals every day, every week, every month. I think the past 14 days, I did a holiday special. It's over now, and I did a $99 resume. I did that for a couple reasons. One, because I know that through the year, there's been people that wanted to, but maybe at the time it wasn't the right time for them. And so I wanted to make that available to those that know that they need an update or a revision or modernize it or, whatever the case may be, condense it. And two, $99, I'm not going to get rich off $99. I just know that people that they pay attention, and they're intentional about it. So put some skin in the game. That way I know it's real for you, right? And so in doing so, I was able to communicate with a lot of people and really get some feedback on why now? What are your goals for the resume? What are your goals for your career? What are your upcoming goals? What's been the challenge for you? What's been holding you back? Questions like that. Because I didn't take everyone. If you're on my email list. If you're not, you can go to iamkellyjackson.com. It's Kelly with an I. If I did that because I know that if you've been, I'll just share the criteria was that you had been in your industry for at least a decade. You haven't moved around. You've been doing kind of the same thing, maybe different title, maybe different employer for at least a decade. I know that value, that if you bring that value, I can add my value on top of that and we can create a masterpiece, right? And so I only give you some context and I share that with you because of the value that I have seen over this past year and the last 14 days. And so I said, you know what, let me put this out here. Let's discuss this. One of the things that I've done over this year in speaking with professionals, as I mentioned, I ask questions and I often, if it's asked, give recommendations just based off of responses to some of those questions. Why now? What's your career goals? What's been the biggest challenge? What position do you want to pursue? All those types of questions. In that, kind of like going to the doctor's office. How long has it hurt? On a scale of 1 to 5, how much pain do you feel? When did you first notice it? And then they'll give you a prescription or a diagnosis, and then they'll write the prescription, right? Similarly, it's the same thing. And when I tell them the diagnosis, well, here's what I see. The look that I get, or either, or both, that I receive is of, wow, I didn't even think of that. Or, you know what? I do that. I didn't realize I did all of that. And it's because we get into a routine where the work that we do has become mundane, it's become normal, it's become just happenstance. This is just what I do, no thoughts behind it. But what you don't realize, when you get a trained outside perspective view, you realize how much value you're sitting on. I think I put this on Twitter or somewhere, and I said that you're sitting on a mountain of value. And I wanted to share in this episode the value that you have, regardless of your title and what you do, because I know professionals often say, well, I only do this. If you only did that, nobody would pay you for it. If it was a only, nobody would come out of their pocket, out their bank account and pay you for it. Somebody's paying you for what you do, so there's value to it. The only difference or the only discrepancy is the value you're putting on what you do. I don't care what your title is. You have a mountain of value based on the criteria I just shared. If you've been doing this for at least a decade, same industry, same similar title, maybe different employer, maybe some differences in scope of work, you have a mountain of value that you're sitting on. And so when I'm sharing and I'm talking with professionals and I'm asking what they want to, the roles they want to pursue, or the companies or employers they want to pursue, or the goals that they have, or what's motivating them, some of them say, I don't feel challenged right now. I feel like I'm losing my skills. I'm not learning anything. There's no professional development where I am right now. I'm bored. It feels routine. Some may say I am not being compensated. I know I'm worth more. I know I should be compensated more money. And those that are seeking additional compensation, I often ask, well, why aren't you making more? And the question that I hear more often than not is that they only pay me this. And we got to stop and pause on that, because that's not true. That's all that they are going to pay. That's not true. And my friend, if you think that, let me tell you why I say that. Is there people in your company right now making more money than you? This is what I asked them. And I'm asking you that. If your motivation right now is that, yes, I need to make a move because I need to be compensated more money. My question for you is, and if your response to the reason why you're not making money is because that's all the company pays, my question to you is there people in your company now that make more money than you? If the answer is yes, then my response to that is, no, that is not all the company pays. That's all the company pays you. That's the difference. That's the difference. So they got the money. That's all they decided to pay you. So knowing that, what's the next move? Because another company may decide, this is what we can pay for this role. And again, if the motivation is challenge or professional development, you're not feeling challenged or professional development, or you need reskilling or upskilling, you want to go to conferences, events, and webinars, and the company does not provide professional development. Do you know people in your company now that attend events or conferences, even if it's your boss? I have a strong inkling that you know of a few people. You may not know them personally, but they go. So it's always going to come back to you and the value you place on yourself and your skill set. Because here's the thing. Nobody is going to value you more than you. And if you don't value you, guess what? Nobody else is. If you don't care enough about your career to keep up with the industry that you're in, or if you're seeking to go to another industry to do some work, some due diligence. I said at the top of this that we're in an age of information. It's time out for gathering information. We already know. It's time for implementation. It's time to execute. That's my theme for 2024 for myself. One of the things I did in my business now is, in the past, I've helped clients, I've worked with clients to achieve their goals. I've now updated my business to where we do the work for them. Because I know people have families, they're taking care of their parents. Some professionals have people that are dependent upon them, that they may have illnesses, they have kids, they have spouses, they have work. And I know it can be a lot. Life is getting faster and busier. So we have taken the onus of doing it all for you. All of your documents, getting you the interviews. All you have to do is get in that interview and sell yourself. And we train you on that as well. So for you, knowing the value that you have, the onus now is on you to implement the type of career that you want, creating the lifestyle that you want. If your job is not compensating you what you feel that you're worth, now you got to be worth it and you got to be able to back it up, then the onus is not on the company and the fact that they don't pay you because they pay other people more than you. Or if they're not providing professional development, there's some people going to conferences, they're going to events, they're in trainings. You're just not. So the onus is what? Is on you. So in 2024, I'm going to challenge you. Yes, you. To go on this ride with me in 2024, we're just executing. And we're implementing. We have the information. We have the value. We just need to execute and implement on it. If we want to implement into our career more training or more knowledge, that's what we're going to do. If we want to acquire more compensation or get paid what we're worth, we have to be able, one, to back that up, meaning be able to showcase our value through our resume, our LinkedIn profiles, our cover letters, our conversation when we're in interviews or when we're talking with our boss during our performance review or when we're in meetings and presentations. Are we raising our hands when there's initiatives or there's projects to be done? Are we speaking up and adding value in conversations? If that's something that's needed, then we need to execute and implement that type of communication training for ourselves. And again, this is something that we implement in our business. We have a whole section on this. But you know the value that you bring. And honestly, the first step is just awareness. And here's the thing, right? Again, this is not a fussing session. You know me already, right? It's just passion. When we have the awareness that, you know what, Kelly's right. It's not that they don't have the money. It's just what they decided to pay me. You know what? It's not that nobody goes to training in this organization. I'm just not getting the training. Right? It's not that they don't help people with certifications. I'm just not getting the certification. So why is that? Am I not contributing at a high value? Am I considered a high potential employee here? Do I leverage my LinkedIn profile to showcase all of my achievements and my successes? When I apply for that internal role, did I even apply, first of all? Or did I just overanalyze and think in my head, I'll never get it because they friends with so-and-so and they know this person, so I know I'll never get it. Did I even apply? And if I did apply, did I use a resume from when I first got the job? Did I not showcase everything that I've been able to do and accomplish and achieve? I'm going to always put it back on you. And I think sometimes we need that accountability. I know for myself, I do. When I invested in my business coach, I needed to be held accountable because I'm the only one that can create the life that I want for myself. And I wholeheartedly believe that you deserve the highest quality of life that you desire as well. So with that, I'm going to wrap up. Hopefully this was beneficial. Hopefully you got something out of this. I wanted to share that with you, just kind of looking back and over all the conversations that I've had. There's so many takeaways that I could share, but we'd be here for a couple of days. We're not going to do that. My hope, my wish, my prayer for you Dad, going into this new year is that you get everything that you desire, that you hope for, that you dream for, but you got to go get it. It's the year of implementation and execution. Thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you on the other side.